Check. 1, 2, 3.
The D.
Brief.
This is the D Brief.
Your guide to Detroit.
Your guide to Detroit's arts
and entertainment scene.
This is the D
Brief.
Hello and welcome to the Debrief, Detroit's arts and entertainment podcast. I am your co-host. My name is Seth Ressler. Becky and I are on vacation this week, but we didn't want to leave you empty-handed, so we wanted to leave you with a collection of favorite moments from recent episodes. You see, when Becky and I have a guest on, we have started to do something before they leave for the final time. We like to ask them for a series of rapid-fire recommendations. Just throw things out there against the wall and see what they say. We have no idea what to expect. And we did this with Chef Max Hardy. Chef Hardy was the personal chef to NBA star Amari Stoudemire. He was also featured on the Food Network show Chopped. Now he is the chef behind two restaurants here in the Detroit area, River Bistro and Coop. That's over in the Detroit Shipping Company. Fantastic Caribbean restaurants. Go check them out. But when we asked him for his rapid-fire recommendations, here's what happened. Obviously, chefs work late hours. When you're hungry at the end of a work shift, where's your favorite place to go for after-hours food?
My favorite place to go for after-hour food in Detroit, Chops Bar and Grill on Grand River, which is like literally a mile from River Bistro.
Okay.
Has some really good food and great cocktails, and it's kind of my Cheers bar. I find my Cheers bar all over the country, and so like that's my Cheers bar with good food. So yeah, that's my favorite place for after work.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Faygo flavor?
Yes, favorite Faygo flavor.
I know it's
hard to say, right?
Favorite Faygo flavor. Wow.
Red Pop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Nice.
When I was a kid, I used to drink that all the time. And I used to get whippings because I used to wear it, dripping on my shirt.
Oh,
so I used
evidence.
I used to go to a private school. I had an all-white shirt on. So I had to do it and sneak and do it. So, yeah. But it got to be cold and, like, slushy, though. Yeah.
Oh, sounds good.
When you have a day off, and I don't know if you ever do because you sound like you work pretty hard, but
Doesn't
when
really
you
sound
do you have a favorite outdoor spot in Detroit that you like to spend it?
Yeah, my favorite day off outdoor space. I love golfing, so I'm a big golfer, and then I play Rouge a lot. So it kind of reminds me of being in the park and golfing at the same time. So yeah, so that's my favorite outdoor space in Detroit.
Dream person that you could cook for, if you could be a personal chef to anybody.
Dream person to cook for, probably Oprah.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. I always been like fond of Oprah and like just wanted to pick her brain and like, kind of see just how she thinks and eats, and because you see she doing so much in the food space now, and she's been all over the world doing stuff, and it's like, all right, let's see what you really like to get.
If she runs for president in 2020,
right,
you're gonna go
right here,
follow her on the campaign trail.
Yeah,
and cook for her?
I'll be her chef. Yeah.
Let's see here. You have a favorite musical artist from Detroit?
Favorite music artist from Detroit? I guess two of my top favorite, Anita and Aretha. I listen to a lot of Anita. She's my girl. Like I always said, I would marry her if I was her age.
My claim to fame is when I worked at Fairlane Mall in the Hallmark store there, I sold her a planner.
Oh, nice.
I met Anita Baker and I sold her a Franklin planner.
Yeah, no, that's probably my favorite. Yeah,
it was sweet.
I think you should open a restaurant and name it after Aretha, because I think that we need some more things in this town that are
no. What is that, 3 now? Shane
God.
Park now, and then the highway now?
Well, yeah, and Aretha's Jazz Club at Music Hall.
Wow.
Grand
wow,
opening
yeah.
coming up.
Wow. Gotta check that out. Yeah, that'd be fun.
When you were away from Detroit, what was the Detroit thing that you missed the most?
The thing I missed the most, corned beef sandwiches.
Really?
Yeah. So
they don't have good ones in New York, or?
Yeah, I mean, but not this kind. Like, it's good corned beef sandwiches in New York. We got Cat's Deli, you got all the top dogs. So all the Jewish style delis and sandwiches, but not on the onion roll and messy and mustard and hot. I like going to Coney Island for that. So that was either my first stop and then my last stop before I went back to New York. Every time I came in. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And last question. We know, obviously, you're a big basketball fan. Now that you've been back in Detroit for a year and a half, what NBA team do you root for?
Oh, boy.
I'm a diehard Laker, man. So I love going to the Pistons games, but I'm still a Laker. So
we won't tell anybody.
Yeah, no. I always, every city, man. Even like when I was with Amari, and I'm sitting courtside at the Knicks games, and every time they played the Lakers, he was like,
"What? You're rooting against him?"
He was like, "I know you're going for that."
Just slip a little something in his food.
Yeah. And
take him off his game.
I never could wear a Laker jersey to the game, but but no, it was always fun to see that. Yeah.
Stand-up comic Mike Green has been a fixture on the Michigan comedy circuit for over 20 years, and earlier this year he teamed up with Stan Moore, who was the president of S&B Plumbing and just a longtime stand-up comedy fan. The two of them opened up a brand new stand-up comedy club called One Night Stands in Waterford, and Mike Green came in to co-host the show with us, and we asked him for some rapid-fire recommendations. Here's what it sounded like. Start with this. Who is your favorite Detroit musical artist?
Favorite Detroit musical artist, Uncle Kracker.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I know him.
Oh.
Well, he's my best friend's cousin, and as a little kid, he would come over and he would stutter and he would say, "Maybe I could spend the night," and then we would tease him and we'd be like, "No, you can't spend the night." And then we flew to Vegas to see him when he had become famous, and we were supposed to meet him backstage, and we went and we talked to the bouncer guy, and the bouncer guy was like, "You're not on the list." And we said, "Go talk to Matt," and he said, the bouncer guy went and came back, and he goes, "Matt said that you would understand this." He said, "Screw you."
That's awesome.
Okay.
If you had a time machine, which moment in Detroit history would you go back to?
When the Tigers won the World Series in 1968.
Ooh,
Nice.
That's a good choice.
Solid.
Where's the first place that you take out-of-town visitors to when they come?
Oh, out-of-town visitors. We went, last time we had out-of-town visitors, we went to Joe Muir's.
On the riverfront there?
Yeah, on the riverfront. Yeah, which is a nice little place, and it's great food. And a friend of mine works there. She's awesome, yeah.
Perfect. What's your favorite hidden gem in Detroit?
Hidden gem. I like the little bar bikes. The bike that you can pedal around, and
like the
that's a pretty cool thing.
Michigan Peddler.
I haven't done that.
Am I dumb? I don't know. I think that's
I've done it a few times.
Really?
It is super fun.
It does look like fun.
Yeah.
yes.
What's your favorite thing about Detroit during the Halloween season?
We have a party. We have an annual party at my house, and I don't know. We're in the suburbs, so I don't even know if it counts. But I love hanging out in my subdivision, having my Halloween party.
That's awesome.
Yes.
How about local TV personality? Who do you like?
Devin Skillian.
Oh,
just because I enjoy saying his name. It's fun to say Devin Skillian.
You know he's in a band too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
What are they called?
I don't remember. Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, Papa Gaga. No, I'm just kidding. That's from before.
That would be a great band
called
name.
a callback.
Yeah.
Papa Gaga.
We should start a trio. Let's start a trio.
Right.
You sing, Mike.
Go.
Who is a Detroiter whose name everybody should know?
Everybody should know. That is a great question.
Mike Green.
No.
Yeah, but is there a comedian that everybody should know? That you think?
He's not a Detroiter, but he's a Michigander.
Who's that?
Steve Iott is one of my favorite comedians on the planet. He's so funny. We just had him at the club last weekend, and to me, there's nobody funnier. But nobody really, he's just a touring headliner.
All right, we'll check him out.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could create your own line of Detroit T-shirts, because everybody's doing it, what would the slogan be?
I already said it twice. Papa Gaga.
That's the thing. I see that every comedy show I go to now, too, is that every comedian's hawking a T-shirt with the slogan
well,
on it.
my shirt, I never made it, but I always wanted it to say that somebody's hit by a drunk driver every minute in this country. We better find out who this guy is.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Mike Green, thank you so much for joining us on the show. It's been absolutely great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So much fun.
Decipher is Detroit's music mastermind collective. It's an organization whose mission is to help musicians learn from one another and share their expertise, the knowledge that they have learned over the years. Junie is one of the founders of the group. He's also a member of One Freak and the Gabriel Brass Band, and he co-hosted the podcast with us one night. And when we asked for his rapid-fire recommendations, here's what happened.
Uh-oh, damn.
Okay, here we go. We're going to ask you for
Why
a
was
series
that
of
the
rapid-fire
doom music, though?
recommendations.
It's supposed to mean excitement.
Yes, you're in the hot seat. And then Angela's here to make sure that you give good answers.
Yeah.
And
Tag
if you
team.
don't, you jump in and
in,
correct
yeah.
it.
Sounds good.
Yes, you overrule him. All right, here we go. What is your favorite Detroit museum to go to?
Museum is DIA. Yeah, I love the DIA. And as far as inside the DIA, my favorite spot is in I think it's the Prince room. I think that's the room that it's called, but that's where they host all the exhibitions with Prince, and that's the wooden room. When you walk towards the back, there's this little booth, this little seat, this little area.
Curved area.
Yeah,
I know exactly
where you
what
can
you
just
mean.
kind of lay in, and it's kind of quiet, it's isolated, so you don't even hear outside in the same way. So it's real nice. But even Kresge Court, I love Kresge Court.
The redo
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah, I was actually in Kresge Court a lot as a young person, and it wasn't even done up how it is now.
Oh no, I used to work there, and it was just
It was very basic.
Very basic.
But it was still nice.
yeah. Now it's really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
How about now? This I don't know. It could have the same answer. Your favorite rainy day place to go? In Detroit.
Rainy day. Rainy day. Rainy day, I guess it's all the same to me, but snow, let me say snow. Can I
Okay,
do that?
sure.
My snowy day place is on Belle Isle. Belle Isle at the conservatory. So they always keep that because they have palm trees and all sorts of, like coffee trees and all that has to grow in different climates. So that place is always at least 75 degrees. So especially in the winter months, that is my hideout.
That's so funny because our guest host on the shows earlier this week used Belle Isle Conservatory for where to go on a romantic date.
Hey, there you go.
So it's
nice
funny.
little walk around.
Yeah.
You a beer drinker, wine drinker, cocktails?
Beer.
All right.
Yeah, Michigan beer is the best.
All right, you have a favorite. Good. That's my question. Do you have a favorite
Two
Michigan
Hearted.
beer? Oh, that wasn't even close.
No,
Two-hearted.
yeah, two-hearted.
Yeah.
All day.
I
All day.
understand.
Well, speaking of drinking, how about your favorite Detroit dive bar?
Dive bar, I'll say...
Nancy's.
Oh!
What was it?
Nancy Whiskey.
Nancy Whiskey's. You
Whiskey's.
performed there.
Yes.
We did. We
Shot
actually...
a music video there.
Yeah, we shot a music
Oh, you
video.
did? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Our first video. Yeah,
Oh.
Diego Cruz. But yeah, Nancy Whiskey is definitely my number 2.
Oh.
but my number one. It's less of a dive bar, but my most favorite bar though is the Griot.
Oh, yeah.
The Griot.
Okay.
That is my favorite bar in the
makes
city.
sense.
Yeah, because they're nice and small, and they pack it out all the time, and I always find the best people there.
Now, is the video you shot, is that up? Is it out yet?
Yes, drug of choice.
Okay, send us a link. We'll put it up on the
I've seen
webpage.
that one.
for sure.
Okay, yeah.
All right, what is your favorite thing to do in Detroit during the Halloween season?
Theater Bazaar.
Oh, yeah, that's a good choice.
say.
That's a good choice.
It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you go too, Angela?
No, actually, I haven't gone to the theater bazaar.
Oh,
Why haven't you?
Right.
No. But
What's stopping you?
I have an idea for a costume, but I haven't made it yet.
What's
Okay.
the idea for the costume?
I want to be a Capricorn, my sign, my astrological
that's
sign.
cool.
Yeah,
That is cool.
I want to figure out a way to do like the goat and the fish and the horns.
Oh,
and
you can
all
make that happen.
Yeah.
They have a taxidermied goat there.
Whoa.
It's
Yeah.
it's a big one on a table with lots of candy.
so just have him, walk out with it next time, and you can use it as part
Oh,
of
there you go.
There we go.
Put it in your pocket.
Problem solved.
Okay, how about favorite Motown song?
Motown song. Ooh, I was just listening to one by
Smokey Robinson today.
yeah, Smokey Robinson. Let me see. Marvin Gaye. Rock you after midnight. We'll be rocking after midnight. I would say, yeah, Marvin Gaye.
That's a good one.
Now, I don't know if he was with Motown or, if like...
Yeah, he
if-
recorded for Motown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm saying for this specific one. Because I know
that-
sometimes some
right.
artists
It might have been a
change.
different label.
Yeah. And so this was a little bit later in his career, but yeah, as far as I know...
We'll give it to you.
This
It's
Motown,
fine.
yeah.
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 What Detroit activity is next on your to-do list?
Detroit activity.
We missed kayaking this summer.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great one. Kayaking.
Missed that.
Kayaking.
And the
That's definitely on the
canals.
list.
The canals and out on the Detroit River.
Yeah, by Belle Isle.
Yes, it's really fun. Yeah, especially the Moonlight one is cool. Yeah.
Well, how does that work?
You go to Detroit River Sports
Yeah.
and you launch off. Depending on what time of year it is, they time it so that you're ending right when the moon comes up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. I love
Romantic
that.
day.
That's happening.
Earlier this year, the guys behind the Stacking Benjamins podcast invited us to open for them when they did a live taping at Go Comedy in Ferndale. Now, this was the first time that Becky and I had ever gotten up on stage and done any part of the podcast in front of a live audience before. We were excited. We were nervous, too. But we had the opportunity to interview Tommy Leroy, who is the technical director and also one of the 4 founders of Go Comedy. He told us about the history of the improvisational comedy theater, and we played Rapid Recommendations. Where in the Metro Detroit area is your favorite place to see shows that are scripted?
Ooh. I mean, you put me on the spot. I have to say here. So I'm going to skip over Go Comedy for everything because I'll mention it because we do some scripted shows here, and we are doing our holiday show coming up soon. Man, I mean, my favorite place is the Ringwald right down the street. They're an amazing group of people. I love those guys over there. They've been here as long as we have. They opened, I think, 6 months before we did, and we became friends with them really quick. And they do a lot of like really irreverent, unusual shows. They do a lot of like really good drama. But right now they're doing Clue, which is amazing. It's great. You have to.
We've had them on our show.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Yeah.
If you could improv with any Detroit celebrity,
Oh boy.
who would it be and why?
Let's throw in living or dead.
Living or dead? I mean, I would have to say, this is just going way back, but George the Animal Steel. I just want to meet him. He's fantastic. He would, yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay, how about, so you've seen a show at Go Comedy, and you want to go out and have drinks after.
Okay.
Favorite place?
Favorite place? Locally, Valentine is a really good place. They've got they're getting huge with their brewery over there, or not brewery, distillery.
Distillery.
They're getting really big over there, and we've got a good relationship with them. Booze wise, we serve a lot of their stuff here, but they're a super nice place. I like that place over there.
Perfect.
Do you have a favorite Detroit musical artist?
That's a hard one. I mean, Meatloaf is fantastic, but Seeger is like the old man in me, like.
See, we were just talking about Bob Seger on the show this week. And
Didn't he just come out with a new album too?
Well, and he has a street named after
He's got a
him.
street named after
I
him.
heard that on the
in
news.
Allen Park,
Yeah.
so.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How about, okay, so everyone's making their own Detroit t-shirt line, right?
Yeah.
What would yours say?
Ooh, mine would say Detroit. Why not? And everybody's so forceful about them. They're like, yeah, Detroit. I'm like, hey, why not? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Tommy Leroy. He is the technical director
Got me.
here at Go Comedy. Tommy, thank you so much for coming on the show. And once again, we want to say thank you to the guys at Stacking Benjamins for having us on. This is absolutely fantastic. Thank you to all of you for making our first live show so great. I am Seth Ressler.
Becky Scarcello.
And please check out the podcast. Until then, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.
The D Brief.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.